I've never owned carbon wheels before. To be honest, I've always been a pessimist. In my mind, you can't combine lightweight and enduro ready in the same sentence. And I needed a pair of wheels that would survive some of the toughest trails in Europe, here in the French Alps. When compared to carbon, alloy wheels are generally cheaper, more forgiving, and most importantly, fixable when you inevitably ding a rim. So alloy is surely the answer. Then I get a call from Industry 9.
Hi, Ben. Hope you're well. We're just wondering if you want to try a new Hydra 2 hubs. Just head over to our custom wheel configurator and build up the wheel set of your choice. Don't forget to go crazy with the colors. Just send over your delivery address and we'll get them to you ASAP.
Okay, so you don't pass up on an offer like that. What's more, I was in the process of speccing a dream build for the summer in the Alps, and I've actually had my eye on Industry 9 for a while now. So it turns out speccing a bike build is harder than ever before. Just choosing a frame size was hard enough. To start with, Atherton bikes have 12 frame size options for their alloy S170. I'm just a large, always have been, always will be. And then you're faced with the paralysis of Industry 9's wheel configurator. 5 days it took me to come up with a final build. Decision making is not my strong point, but here we are. These are the Enduro Carbon rims with anodized spokes and the new Hydra 2 hubs with 870 points of engagement. Is that right? Okay, we all know what that sounds like. Now, you'll probably be a little disappointed as I didn't go full Dulux color chart crazy with the color scheme. I settled on a silver hub body with black and bronze spokes alternating colors every 4 spokes. I think it matches the bronze Hope brake rotors quite nicely. Now, I know what you're going to say, why on earth am I building a park bike with carbon wheels? Well, I really want to push these wheels to their limits, hopefully not beyond, but I think we'll get pretty close this summer. And I've also heard a lot of great things about saving weight in the unsprung mass. And later this summer, I'm going to be adding a rather weighty addition to the front of the bike. So I'll take any weight savings I can get. And while we're on the subject, these two come in at just over 1,700 grams for the pair. I've only ridden these wheels for around 2 weeks now, so don't consider this a conclusive review. Let's start with the positives. The ordering process was seamless, even if the custom configurator left me in a state of paralysis. Once ordered, the wheels arrived within 2 weeks. There are quite a few options when you order, so make sure you know your hub spacing and cassette driver requirements. In terms of ride feel, the reduced unsprung mass is the biggest takeaway. It creates a more playful feeling bike that is predictable in the air and helps the bike glide over hollows and ruts without hesitation. The pickup on these new Hydra 2 hubs is instant. Lessons learned from the somewhat temperamental Hydra 1 have led to a wheel that's a lot more durable with a thicker axle. We also have a wheel with less drag because the hub body no longer needs to be squeezed by the through axle tension to hold everything together, and some properly chunky seals to keep the bearings clean. All this added whilst increasing the free hub to 870 points of engagement. It gives the bike a properly reactive feel when you want to put an extra crank in before a jump or drop, and I'm sure would make for a really reactive bike in technical climbing situations. These hubs are e-bike approved, and I'm fairly sure this is where you'll notice the instant engagement most. As I've already said, at just over 1,700 grams for the pair, you've got a properly lightweight, big hitting wheel set. I've definitely felt an increased confidence in almost every situation on the bike because it just feels more maneuverable, especially in the air. However, I've not ridden through sustained rock gardens yet. I'll get back to you on that one. My main worry was that the more rigid carbon rims would be unforgiving over the rough stuff, but they're not at all. However, this could be partly down to the quality suspension and compliant bars, so I'd still advise not to combine these with low-end or unserviced suspension, but who in their right mind would buy wheels like this and combine them with shit suspension? Okay, let's do the negatives. The wheels came with tubeless tape already installed, but one of them failed to hold air. I subsequently double taped it, which thankfully fixed the issue. Tire installation is easy, however, I've not gone for tire inserts just yet. That pain can wait. A decision I might live to regret. Now, these are Enduro wheels. If you want downhill rated wheels, go for the alloy option, as your warranty could be disputed in the event of a crash damage replacement. I'm a light rider and I'm not racing, but I am taking a risk riding these in the bike park. You cannot hide from the total cost. They're a lot of money, which means they're certainly not for everyone. But if you want a set of wheels without compromise that look insane, in my opinion, and have the best sounding free hub on the hill, again, in my opinion, and come with a lifetime crash replacement warranty, then these could be the ones. Plus, get the custom spec right and you'll have the best looking steed in the bike park. The thick anodized aluminum spokes really are attention grabbing, maybe too attention grabbing. Follow on the socials, Instagram specifically, because you'll find out there how I get on over the long term this summer. So these will be going on the Atherton S170 build, and let's not forget the all-important color-coded headset and stem in all their machined anodized bling. I've added a touch of blue to the headset to tie in with the Fox compression adjuster and air valve cap. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my custom build and whether you think I've done the right thing going carbon. I'll be releasing a complete run through and a first impressions video of my Atherton Alps build shortly, so subscribe to the channel for a deep dive on the parts I chose for the build and the reasons why.